All right, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So, Heaven's Ward looks like it is done. We had the credits last episode. So, it looks like we are moving into Stormblood. I just challenged House 4 Amps a couple times, and I got a card. Artillery D4 Amps card. So, let's see if we can't find that. It's been a while. Probably Gold Saucer. Card list. Got a couple. Ooh. Did they change this around a little bit? Teo Man. Him. A mighty and vengeful dragon who makes her lair in the ghostly peak of Storm Owl. Consort of Nighthawk, one of the 7 great worms. Tao Man is known as the dark dragon among the Ishgardian people, by virtue of her scales, which are said to be darker than the starless night. And what else we got? On page 4, we got Finner. That's new. Card 112. A massive whorehound beholden to Lady Iceheart, with its shimmering hide, reminiscent of pale moonlight, and a demeanor just as cold. This imposing beast was named after the legendary Spirit Hound Finner. And then we got his card, Artillery D4 Amps. This ain't too bad for 733. I am no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Ammermac. My arm will not falter. My shield will not break. How long as my witness, we will bring these fanatics to justice. Here we go. So, guess it tells you where to get them. Oh, the lights just came on outside. But anyway, let's get on with our first mission from Stormblood. An uncertain future. Alright, we're going to get some foods, which I ain't really concerned about, but I'll take them. Alfnid wishes to share the latest developments in the search for the missing scions. Oh, okay. Fortuitous timing, as always, Tickman. Petteru was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You be pleased to hear that Royo and his men have been making excellent progress. My little puppy wanted to come up here with me. You remember how Femina helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Liminosa, only to then disappear? According to Royo, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzahan, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long. That won't be long before we're reunited. As for Yada and Papamo, the remains of their link pearls have been found in Pearl Lane, of all places. Rail thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. And what up, Thancred and Minophilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about these two. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is, we've enlisted the service of a Somalian scholar, one of the students of Bastinian, to aid in the search. who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet the scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Alchemic has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Stickman, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet the scholar afterwards. Agreed? Agreed. In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Night for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know? All right, Holy See of Ishgard's. Where are we heading? That'd be the question. Foundation, heading to the Foundation. To the Forgotten Night. Speaker Akamak at the Congregation of the Knights Most Heavenly. Alright, Simplegard, let me in. The Lord Commander is within. Pray, proceed, sir.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Yep.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Alright, so Lucy is about to make an alliance with somebody. The journey, at least, should pose little difficulty this time. I know little of the lands these dragons call home. This Annex Trine, had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Tickman and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Tickman. Alright, let's go see Tataru. Tell her we are leaving once more. Ah, I thought you might want to tell her, or would you rather I did all the talking? You do it there, buddy. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. You don't want to know. A diplomatic mission to annex Trine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vinafor happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Shanta in Idleshire. Should be there to receive our guests. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be time permitting. As I said, we shall endeavor to join you, Shonda, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Tickman. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Alright, let's get back to Lucia. Ooh, just look at my tail right there. It's back in this place. One task at a time, Tickman. Besides, I have no doubt that Ishanda can look after the scholar by herself. Lucia, you're ready? Then, good, so am I. An uncertain future is complete. Let's go ahead and just grab the hot chocolate. I love some hot chocolate. And that's it for today's quest. So thanks for joining me. My name's Tick. Come on back tomorrow when we talk to Alfned and we break the cycle. Until then, y'all take care.